Almighty God, ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our counsels and actions so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote unity, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. Amen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our hearing. This is the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petition. You're welcome, leaders. We apologize for the slight delay. We just left the chambers, and so we are all rushing to be here and to do some one or two things in the offices before we come here. So we'll start now without wasting much time. Before then, I will appeal my colleagues to introduce themselves, and then we'll start with the cases. Thank you.
Okay. Chairman, my distinguished colleagues, or distinguished all the guests. I'm Senator Hanga, representing Kano Central, and I'm also the Deputy Minority Leader of the Senate, a member of this committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, our guests. My name is Senator Ibrahim Khalid. I represent Kaduna North Senatorial District from Kaduna State, the Deputy Chairman of this committee. Thank you.
Let me use my campaign voice. Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, our invited guests, my name is Senator NA-OKPALA. I represent OGOCHUKWU, and I am a member of this committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My chairman, distinguished colleagues, invited guests, my name is distinguished Senator Anthony Siakoya, representing the South, a member of this committee.
Thank you. And I'm Senator NEDEMA, and I represent Edo South Senatorial District, the chairman of this committee. All right. Call the first case. Call the first case.
Distinguished Chairman and members of the committee. First case we have today is a case between BK, RIGANGE, SPA, of PM SHAGNAH, and on behalf of Mr. CHABIYA, DENHAM, the National Agricultural Land Development Matter. This is the 5th time we are hearing it.
Are the parties here? Yes, sir. Please take your seat. Rearrange the sitting position. Rearrange the sitting position.
give before this distinguished court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Good afternoon, distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am NA-OKPALA. I do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Who do you represent?
I represent the petitioner, Mr. CHABIYA.
With CHABIYA DENHAM?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
So who is DK RIGANGE, Esquire? That's you. Is that you?
I am OKPALA.
Who is DK RIGANGE, Esquire?
DK is a counsel in our office.
Okay, so it's your office?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Who is representing NALDA?
I am
Okay, what's your name again, ma'am?
Halima Mamadora.
What's the position there, ma'am?
I'm the Director Admin of Health Services.
Director Admin. Thank you. So, Mr. CHABIYA, or your lawyer, please can you tell the committee why you're here and what we need to look at?
Yes, yes, sir. May it please the distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I am NA-OKPALA.
Esquire?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
We are here today for the hearing of a petition that we filed on behalf of the petitioner, CHABIYA.
Is CHABIYA here?
CHABIYA is not here, he is in Europe.
Okay, go ahead.
Subject to the overriding convenience of the chairman, sir, we are ready to proceed.
Please proceed.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, sir, the petitioner, the service of the petitioner was engaged by NALDA, sometimes 2023. Then, within a year, he started as a volunteer. Then, when they look at his performance, he was given a full-time job to do with them as a coordinator of Adamawa State of NALDA. Then somehow suddenly there was on the 3rd of October 2023, the executive secretary of NALDA by name Prince Paul Okoye wrote a letter to Kara Motors that they should come and carry 5 tractors and 1 mechanical engine for service. And our client, the petitioner, now called the executive secretary, explaining to him his reasons why it was difficult for him to release the 5 tractors with 1 mechanical machine, because there was a pending court case, and a court gave an order restricting NALDA from carrying any of their property from the premises when that matter was even initiated and that court order came up, the petitioner had not started working with NALDA. He came and inherited that matter. But once an order of court is given, and except that order is set aside by a superior court, the order succeeds. And up to date, the order succeeds. So, a copy of the order, we have attached a copy of the order with the petition. Our client could not release the 5 tractors with the mechanical machine for services that the people, but what we understand, I understand that the Kara Motors, they did not specialize in services of tractors and mechanical generator. Our client wrote a letter to the executive secretary intimating him the expenditure it will incur to pack all the 5 tractors down to either Kaduna or Abuja for servicing and returning them back, that it will be better and safer for the people responsible for services to come to Adamawa State, services there, and then go back. The cost will be less. But the executive secretary took offense at that. We wrote the letter, the petitioner wrote, is attached with our petition, which is before this distinguished committee. Then subsequently, without the notice of the petitioner, the people came all the way, and they came and carried 5 tractors with 1 mechanical generator. And while they were on their way, the police intercepted them, the police got them arrested, and they were taken to the state CID in Jimeta Yola. Somehow, the people called the director of Kara Motors, and the director of Kara Motors put a call across to the executive secretary of NALDA, and they called the petitioner to go and settle the matter. The petitioner went, settled the matter. The police asked him to pay some money, about 250,000 naira, which he did. And then when he finished, they said the matter is settled. But the police directed that hence there's a court order that the 5 tractors and the mechanical generator should be taken back to the state headquarters of NALDA, their office. But somehow, the vehicle, the 5 tractors, did not go down to where they took them from, including the mechanical generator. However, subsequently, our client, while that was happening, the petitioner was transferred from Adamawa State to Abuja, and he had some problem that he was directed to resume on this in between 2nd of December to in between 2nd January to 11 January 2024, which he was not able to meet up. And he wrote a letter to the executive secretary intimating him of his predicament, why he was not able to resume, because his father, who was already an old man at that time, was sick. The man had a paralysis as a result of high BP, and he could not do anything on his own. And the petitioner was his only surviving son. The rest are female. So he was the one that was taking him to the bathroom to bath, bringing him back, because the man virtually could not do anything on his own. And he said that for that reason he may not be able to resume at that point. Surprisingly, between 2nd January, which they gave him that he should resume in Abuja, between 2nd January and 11th January, on the 5th of January, our client was issued with a letter, a dismissal, a notice of dismissal, and his appointment was wrongly terminated, and that was the basis why we filed this petition. However, the petition, our client, the petitioner was issued query. He responded to the query. The basis of the query was that why did he not release the vehicle, the 5 tractors and the mechanical machine to Kaura Motors, and his inability to resume between 2nd and 11th January 2024, which he was not able to meet up, and he explained his reasons. But surprisingly, his dismissal was on a basis of criminal misappropriation, on the grounds of criminal misappropriation, divulging of secret information to the public, which was not true. And our client, hence his dismissal, was hinged on criminal misappropriation. He was not tried before any competent court of jurisdiction before the sacking. The law is that once a person is accused of any criminal charges, he should be given fair hearing and be questioned and then be tried within a reasonable time. And if he is found guilty, then he will be punished in accordance with the law. But our client was not.
What do you now want this committee to do for your client?
Yes, what we want this committee to do for our client is that we want the committee to reverse the illegal and unlawful dismissal of our clients.
Does it?
And that all his salaries should be paid till date.
Does it?
And we want the committee to investigate the whereabouts of the 5 tractors and the 1 mechanical generator.
All right. So, you want the petitioner goes back on his job? You want his salaries owed to be paid back to him?
Yes.
And you want the third one, so the mechanical what?
Yes, we want the Senate to investigate the whereabouts of the 5 tractors that were taken away. By the director of Kaura Motors Limited, on the instruction
What is Kaura Motors? What is the business of Kaura Motors to all of this?
Well, I don't know. As a person, I know that Kaura Motors, they specialize in selling of cars. But I know maintenance and rehabilitation of tractors and mechanics. That is what I don't know. But I know very well that they sell vehicles.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Madam, you heard him. You heard him, right?
Yes.
What's the response?
Honorable Chairman, distinguished members of the committee, and everybody here present. Halima Madara at the side, I'm here representing NALDA. So I want to start from the beginning. Mr. CHABIYA was a volunteer from March 2022, and he was given provisional appointment when NALDA recruited staff when we got waiver for employment in December 2022. And he was posted to Adamawa, and he was asked to be the state administrator, the state coordinator. Then NALDA went into a partnership with ABUJA, a company, an organization that had land, and they gave NALDA land, which we cleared. And then some months later, ABUJA came to us and said they were, they didn't want to do the partnership anymore. So when we asked why they did that, they said because NALDA had cheated them, that we had planted and harvested, because that was not the MOU. And all we knew from headquarters was we cleared the land, but we didn't harvest. There was a time that the former ES had to resign because he was running for office, and I was the anti-ES at that time. So this Mr. CHABIYA went ahead without permission from headquarters. He planted on the land, he harvested and sold, and he made some money, which he never, up to today, he has not given remitted to headquarters. So he was queried on the 3rd of March, and he was given 3 days to, and mind you, at this point, he's still on probation. Up to now, he's not reached 2 years. He's a probational staff. And on his offer of provisional appointment, I have here, number 4, it says that within your probationary period, if it is established the satisfaction of the National Agricultural Land Development Authority that you're not qualified for efficient service, your appointment may be terminated at any time without compensation. So he was given 3 days to respond, given the query on the 3rd of March. He didn't respond until 13th of March. We sent him a reminder, and that was when he responded, and he apologized for using the land, so he admitted it. It's all there in the... And then on the 18th of December, he was posted...
I'm sorry.
Sir?
Do you have a copy of that probationary letter?
Yes, I have it here. It's in the solution. I think Annex 3A.
Is it what?
Annex 3A. It's somewhere in the middle. Just after his credentials, is the first.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. And then on the 18th of December, he was written a posting letter to come back to headquarters. He was posted to headquarters, and his letter also says that he can be posted everywhere. And what we expected from the officer was for him to come to his posting and say this is his problem. He didn't respond, he just ignored us until the 11th of January when we reached out to him again by writing to ask him why he had not reported. And that was when he told us about the problems he was having with his parents. It's all there. And he told us about his father's illness and everything. And and that was when he now asked for a month time to resume. And he didn't resume, and by then we had met several times. The disciplinary committee had met several times. This is an officer who is on probation, who has misappropriated funds, who has already 2 queries in his, and he doesn't even respond in time with the queries. We just decided, and when we looked back at his credentials, the birth certificate had issues. So one had cancellations, and he submitted 2 birth certificates which had different dates, and his his qualifications too. We couldn't understand which one is it. The same year, but 2 different qualifications from the CV. So we decided, the disciplinary committee decided that this is somebody who is on probation, and he had already signed that he accepts the probationary clauses. and so the disciplinary committee recommended that he be dismissed, and it was accepted by all, and he was dismissed. And I want to add that the machinery, they belong to NALDA, and the ES, it is his prerogative to move it to wherever across the country. These machinery were in Kaura Motors. Kaura Motors is what NALDA, is the company that NALDA uses on contract. They maintain our equipment across the country. And these machinery were in Kaura Motors here in Abuja. The ES that was there was removed in July of this year, and this current ES came and that was handed over to him, and he has actually moved those same tractors to Kwara State.
So the new ES now came when?
Sir?
The new ES.
Yes, sir.
When did it come in?
On the 11th, 12th or 13th of July this year.
July this year.
Yes, sir.
And this incident started last
yes, from 2022 to 2023.
So it was the former ES that was interfacing with him on that matter?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Please turn off your mic.
Chairman, I've heard both sides. The question I want to ask Madam, you see, you're an administrator. When somebody is employed on probation for such a period, unless and until his probity is ascertained, he is not confirmed. Anything happens, in fact, you may decide not to confirm his probity based on the basis of anything wrong. Was he finished serving his probationary period before this incident happened?
Sir, he hasn't. His probationary period is supposed to end next month.
Well, I think, my lord, the lawyer, his lawyer,
Yes, sir.
you heard that. What do you say about it? How can you come and start making a case when you have this record? First, he was given an appointment, and the appointment had some conditions. He must have read the conditions before he accepted the appointment. Now, part of the conditions is he will serve on probation for 2 years. And before the end of that 2 years, all this happened. And his apology for utilizing the land, cultivating, harvesting, and selling without the knowledge of the NALDA, that one is an admission of wrongdoing. And I think NALDA is in a position to either accept or reject. Nobody will force NALDA to accept his apology, because what he did was wrong. He should not have cultivated the land, because that was not part of the MOU. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So as a lawyer, please,
Yes, sir.
how can you bring a case like this?
All right, so note the question he asked. Please note it.
Mr. Chairman, colleagues, my name is Aminu Abbas, Senator, the United Animal Senator, Central District. Mr. Chairman, I think we are missing something here. NALDA is not telling us the truth. And let me come up straight. The former, what do you call it, is it DG?
Yes.
Yes. What happened was that he instructed this man to send down tractors, 5 tractors from another one.
Which man?
The person is happy.
Okay. Shadam.
Yes.
CHABIYA.
CHABIYA. They asked him to send tractors from Yola to Abuja for repairs. And a generator of 500 kVA for repairs. And I said no. Whatever repairs will come when it comes to the knowledge, it should be done in Yola. Because he informed them, they issued all those issues came up. Because he told me.
Let me.
I'm coming. I'm telling you what's happening. What's happening? I'm just giving you brief for that. It was because I said no. The former yes. I said they should repair it in Yola. And as I tell you today, no 5 tractors, no generator.
No, I want to understand.
I'm coming. This start point all these issues. It was after my interference that the tractors will not be moved from Yola to this place, to Abuja for repairs. That any repair should happen in Yola. First, he said we are first time senators.
Senator, let me just ask this.
Yes. Yeah, ask.
Your interference in what capacity?
As a senator. No, I'm coming as a senator of that zone. They asked to move those tractors are from the zone, are from the other office. When they want to move them for repairs, I said they can't move them for repairs. They can repair them in Yola and leave them in Yola too. It's another tractor.
Please distinguish. Can you go? You have not. You didn't allow me to ask. When you started
You are the source of this issue. I'm giving you the source of this issue. I'm not telling you whether you know or didn't know why. What I want is order, please. Whether you have gone wrong or when it's working, that's what business. My business is that they move those tractors, they move the generator. Why are the tractors and the generator are supposed to be in your office?
That is it.
That's it.
Okay, may I come in? Distinguished colleague, I'm sorry. I don't know, but do we as senators have authority to interfere apart from our right? Excuse me, sir. Chairman, you have your face. Thank you. So,
Yeah.
I'm someone who has
Oh, okay.
Any question? Can you move here? No, yes,
I'm not properly. My biggest question is, or my concern is the person in question, my lawyer, his lawyer. The person is supposed to take instruction from his boss by law. It's easy.
Very well, sir.
Yeah, but in this particular situation, he failed to take the instruction of his Director General. That's correct.
Distinguished, sir. In fact, it is not that he did not take instruction. The issue of that he found on a land
Is that correct?
that
Is that
was
correct?
acquired.
Is that correct?
Pardon?
Is that assertion correct?
Farming.
The farming and the cultivation. Is that
No,
correct?
It's not correct. It's speculation, sir. It's speculation, sir. The CHABIYA himself did not farm on the disputed land between NALDA and one and one ABUJA, somebody that they have matter. It is not the petitioner that found on, it is not on that land. The land that the petitioner is saying that the fact is the premise, the premise of NALDA in Adamawa State the premise is big, and then once rain started falling, even in judiciaries and other, some lands
do you have
premises that is big.
Do you have
Some of the clerical staffs and securities.
As you see, we just need to go to this issue as they appear, and
Yes,
let's deal with them one by one.
Yes, sir.
Do you have an your 5C with you? 5C. If you don't have it, please show it to him. Look, show him 5C. Show him 5C, please. Wait. Please check the signature very well. Check the signature of that letter. Will that be the signature of the client?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay, check, go to the first page, Office of the State Coordinator. Who is that?
The
Is that your
first
client?
page, the first page of Annexure C.
Yes.
5C.
Yes, Office of the State Coordinator. The headline, the head.
The
The
Office
heading.
of the State Coordinator. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
will that be your client?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes to read through it and tell me what it says. 2 minutes, read through that letter.
Should I read it to the hearing?
No, have you read it? Have you read it?
No, I'm still coming. Yes, I've read paragraph 2.
Okay, so you understand what is this letter all about?
Yes, to my knowledge and understanding, this paragraph 2 is
No,
not.
don't interpret it.
No, I'm not interpreting.
Okay, what did it say?
Yes,
What
what
it
is.
was written and signed by your client.
Yes.
Okay, what did it say? Okay, read paragraph 2 to us here.
Okay. The said land was cleared by NADA around April for year's farming season, but left unused in the first week of July, when the very villagers using the land earlier on came to the office at Yola collectively to seek for the permission for the use the land. On the strength of that, I had to travel to Abuja for clearance from the headquarters on arrival. I was told that the executive secretary had gone to his state to seek for election. I then asked the admin officer, who then was a senior officer in charge. Since the executive secretary is not on seat, and he is the only one that will approve the needed fund for the farm development, it will be difficult for the office to use the prepared land for the year farming season. It was on the basis of this analysis that for the fact of maintaining a good relationship with the villagers, that I allowed them to use the land instead of leaving it fallow for the next season.
Madam, did you hear that?
So with this,
Hold on,
he is not the
hold
one
on.
the farmer needs.
Sir, please. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
So are you still asserting that according to your assertion, he farmed the land, he cultivated it and sold the product without remitting any money to NALDA?
Yes,
Is that
because
still-
we called him, we have the minutes of our meeting where he actually said he said he had about 600,000 left or something because he had spent.
Do you have that
some
minute
into-
with you?
It should be in the annex, sir.
And it's the work.
Was remaining from the balance from the use of tractors.
Let me ask you a question, a direct question. Now that you provide the equipment, right, for them to clear the land and make it conducive for planting
Yes.
for the farmers,
Yes, for community.
for community farming,
Yes.
right? So when you do that, when the community now farm and harvest the product, do they remit money back to NALDA?
We usually do an MOU, and then during harvest, we harvest, and then in the MOU, there's a sharing formula, which was why the ABUJA were upset because they came and found out that farming had taken place and the harvest was sold and they were not giving anything.
Is ABUJA a cooperative society or what is it?
No, it's not a cooperative society.
It's a company of its own.
Yes,
So I'm
it
confused
has
now.
land.
I'm confused now. So you prepare land, is it for the company or for community to
For
farm?
communities, but sometimes it's companies that donate the land, and then the communities come, and then depending on, who is involved, then an MOU is drafted.
So if community donate the land, you prepare for them to farm,
Yes.
and then there's a sharing
Sharing
formula.
yes, sir.
In this particular case, was that land prepared for the community that they didn't use, or was it prepared for this company?
Was prepared for the community, but through the company.
Through
So
the company.
Yes, so the company was supposed to get something as well.
So the company therefore works on behalf of the community.
They donated land.
That's the land, the community donated land.
Yes.
And who was to now farm on the land? Is it the community or this company?
The community.
So then, where is this company coming from? I'm confused. They donated the land.
They donated the land.
The company donated the land.
Yes.
The company
It
does
is
not
their
own the
land.
land. The land is owned by community.
No, the land is owned by, this particular land is owned by the company. But obviously it's the community, we're trying to bring up the community. So it's the people around, the farmers around that are now allocated pieces of land to farm on.
All right. So then the coordinator of the community now started farming the land.
Yes, so he brought his own people and shared the land and they farmed, which is okay, but headquarters was not aware. So headquarters should have been aware, and then during harvest, headquarters should have also been aware so that we would be present at harvest.
Well, when I read that letter, it says that he went to headquarters to seek the permission of the officer, but the ES was somewhere seeking for election. And when he was not in the office, he was somewhere seeking for election.
At that point, the ES had resigned and I was acting seat.
Okay, so
when
ES
he
had
came,
resigned at that point.
I was not on seat.
So you were acting.
Yes, sir.
When he came, you were not at seat.
I was not on seat.
So did anyone act on your behalf?
No, he said, it was later when he was queried that he said he spoke with one of our admin officers and they had a discussion, which nobody else knew about.
But did the admin officer deny having that conversation with him?
She resigned before this thing came up.
Oh, that person also resigned. Okay. So that one also resigned. ES resigned. You were not available. And we are taking decision based on that. Yes, you understand my problem?
Yes, sir.
Can you help me?
So, the basic thing is, the bottom line is, he was on probation and he had queries. He never responded to queries on time, which is not good for an officer on probation. And at a point he was called for a meeting. I was not around. The directors came and complained to me that they said the ES was calling them because by then the ES came back after like about 4 months. They called him for a meeting to explain something. And then during the meeting, the ES wanted to see his director. They said they were coming. And he was telling them, you know, that he's in a hurry. He has a plane to catch. Are they going to keep him? You know, so these are the things that were discussed at the disciplinary. And we looked at that point on the probationary clauses, that if we find that he's not it is established that to the satisfaction of NALDA that he is not qualified for efficient service, then he can be dismissed.
All right. Back to the tractors.
Yes.
Where are the tractors now?
This new ES has taken them to PAR.
To Kwara.
Yes, sir.
Is that to punish the coordinator?
No, we take the tractors. He has moved the ones from Katsina, taking them to Ekiti. It's where we have projects.
So these tractors, did they ever work in Yola?
Yes, they did, because even Mr. CHABIYA used it for his personal use.
I know. That's on this matter we're discussing, right?
Yes, sir.
Other than that, was it just the beginning? Okay. When tractors are taken to a state, how long are these tractors are supposed to be there for?
There's no set time, sir. If there's a project, it goes there and it works, and then if there's a need for it elsewhere, then they're moved elsewhere.
So other than this land in this controversial land now, other than this, did that tractor ever work anywhere else in Yola?
I'm sure it did.
No. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure it did. It's just that I can't tell you exactly where, because the project department would be better suited to explain all the projects that were done in Adamawa.
So it's a position that Adamawa has had its fair share of the use of tractors, and so it's removed to another state.
The reason they were moved at that time was actually for them to be refurbished.
To be refurbished?
Yes, and then it's Motor that does that, they're on contract up to now. Even now, they were the ones that went to Katsina to carry the tractors.
But the what is it called? The company, you said there's a company in Yola. You said there's a company in Yola that's in charge.
It's not a company, it's Dora Motors.
Oh, yeah,
They're the suppliers and they're on contract. Yes, they're the suppliers and they're on contract to
do they also maintain and service?
Yes, they are.
And they're in Yola? Are they in Yola?
I'm not sure if they're in Yola, but when they supply, they take it to wherever we need them. And then when we need, they bring them to ABUJA for servicing and maybe taking to another site.
Okay, other than this issue with the family, is there any other reason why it was dismissed?
Yes, sir. He's on probation. He has 2 queries.
The queries premised on what?
The tractor issue, the farming issue, and then the third one was for when he was posted and he didn't go to his posting, and he didn't respond at all until a month later. At least even by message, he could have sent a message.
All right, gentlemen, distinguished senators, any questions?
Yeah. Where was those tractors? When did you ask them to bring the tractors? Besides the date, tell me the date.
I'm looking for the telephone.
The first time you asked me to move the tractors. And the generator, why is the generator? The 500 kV generator, why is it? Is it in current?
I'm not sure whether that was also moved, but I can't.
It was moved. No, it was
No,
moved.
I'm not sure. It was brought to Abuja.
Why is
But I'm
it?
not sure whether it's still in Abuja or it moved to Kwara. Because just the last week, some tractors were moved to Ekiti, some to Kwara, from Niger, from Abuja.
We need that. We need that. We need to know where the generator is. I have the number, I have the everything of the generator. I need that. I need to know where the generator is. She give us the location, where it is. Give us the date when she was asked to move the equipment.
October 2023.
That was 2023. That was the first time it was asked.
Yes, I'm reading the query that says you would recall that a directive was issued on 3rd of October for the movement of 5 tractors and their respective implements from Adamawa State to the equipment management for.
That's when the query.
Yes, the query was 28th November.
Not the query. I'm asking when did you instruct to move the equipment? Not the query. The query come after that.
So that's what I'm trying to say. The query is dated 28th November, but it's stating that you recall a directive was issued on the 3rd of October for the movement of 5 tractors.
On the 3rd of October, he was asked to move the equipment. On the 28th of November, they gave him the query for not moving the equipment. Now, when they gave him query, the former AS, you said the former AS resigned, went into politics.
Yes, President Buhari asked those, yes, he
went.
resigned, so between, yes, sir.
I just asked him, he resigned and went into politics.
Yes.
Was he reappointed?
Yes.
Can you provide them the letter of the appointment?
Yes, we can do that.
Give us the letter of the appointment. It's the appointment. When they resign and when they are appointed by the president. You need those letters.
Any question? Do you have anything else to tell us?
Yes, sir. May I add quickly before my time is up? The distinguished senator, sir, when the query, when the executive secretary asked the Kara Motors to take all the 5 tractors and the Canon generator to Adamawa State, from Adamawa State to Abuja, he has already resigned. There is no record whatsoever that President Buhari appointed same person twice as executive secretary of the same ministry.
But I know. That's why I asked the question. Forget it. I know.
He was appointed once, he resigned.
I'm aware.
The unfortunate thing is that somebody who have already resigned from office is still giving directive, dismissing people that are still that are working in that ministry.
She promised to bring the letters.
All right, let us go to. So that's what you have to tell us, right?
And secondly, I want to clear this. The people that farm on that land, when the petitioner came to Abuja to seek for the permission of the executive secretary so that they will farm, because they needed resources to farm, to cultivate the land that was already cleared. The executive secretary was nowhere to be found. My sister here was not in the office. The person he met with has no power to release funds so that this land, the land in question, will be cultivated. However, when he went back, what will he do? Will he sit down and did not allow the people, the indigenous people, not to farm on this land? So he had no option, hence he himself does not even have the resources to cultivate this land. He allowed the indigenous people to farm. And while the indigenous people were farming, the purported company that the other people are saying, they did not do anything, they did not participate in the cultivation, but when the villagers individually that cultivated harvested, they now came and said that those individuals should bring their own return. A company who did not partake in anything, the company did not contribute anything to the family, but they are interested in the product that was harvested from the cultivation. That is quite strange.
All right. All right, thank you. Turn off your mic. Thank you. Turn off your mic. Yeah, madam, any rebuttal?
Yes. I do not like, I held the Quran and everything I have said is the truth. I will not lie, and as God is my witness, everything I have said is the truth. The Executive Secretary of NALDA, it is his prerogative to move his machinery. We don't have enough machinery to move it to any part of the country that he so wishes, because it belongs to NALDA. It doesn't belong to one state, it belongs to NALDA. That is number one. Number two, Mr. CHABIYA could have written, because he had written a lot. He could have written. I remember that day because he even put it there. I was on my way out to a meeting and I saw him coming in. He could have left a letter if he could not tell anybody at that point. And when I came back to my seat, I would have seen it and that would have been sorted out. And yes, I have evidence. President Muhammad Buhari reappointed the former ES. I know not a lot of people were reappointed, but I know 2 people in the last dispensation were reappointed. It wasn't something that was allowed, but I have the evidence, as God is my witness, that happened. And we collected the letter from the former SGF, Mr. Boss Mustafa, and he is aware.
All right, please turn off your mic. So, yeah, is he still or he has resigned?
A new ES has been,
Okay.
yes.
All right, this is what the office is going to do. We need you, please, to come back with those letters of his reappointment. We need the location of this. We need location of the tractors and the KBA. All those location where they are. If they are walking anywhere, I want to know where they are. All right. Councillor.
Yes, sir.
Bring your client next time. And we want him. We want your client next time. If your client doesn't come next time, we'll take a different decision. We need him to be here. There are some questions I can't even ask you that I would love to ask him. Very well. So, any question? All right. Based on this, we will adjourn this matter for the last time. For the last time. And like I said, the complainant should be here on the next sitting date. And for now, to please provide those information we asked, the letters of reappointment of the former ES. What's his name?
Principal Economy.
Okay. Letter of his reappointment and the whereabouts of the tractors and the generator, whether they are working anywhere else in the country, and the location we need to know. The next sitting date will be communicated to you by the Secretariat, and it's going to be on a very short notice. That will be the decision of this committee. Next case.
Distinguished Chairman and members, case number 2 is a case between DLAMA and Nigeria Police Force. This is the state beginning of this. DLAMA, here you.
The police here for this case? Police is here. Are they here for this case? But, are the police here for this case? What is it? It's going to be right at the moment.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Madam, does that look like it was received by your office? Madam, does it look like it was received by your office?
Yes, sir. A letter was placed to us by the Inspector General.
Excuse me. If you're not ready to listen, please. Please. Yes.
We received a letter from the Inspector General of Police in respect of ONYEBUCHI and NA's case. There was no any letter directing us on this case, sir. And we work with that.
But there's proof here that it was received by the Nigerian police force.
Yes, maybe as we took it to the IGP, it was received, but probably it has not been assigned. There was no letter to that effect to FCT command. We are here on behalf of FCT command.
This is the third hearing of this case. And we're actually becoming tired of it. Tired because the Nigerian police force is not forthcoming. And that's very disheartening to send. That is sent to summon the Nigerian police to answer to complaints against them and they will not respond. Third hearing. We really don't want to embarrass anybody, but we also don't want to be embarrassed. It is very unbecoming. The Nigerian police force cannot respond to the Senate summons or care on the matter that is against them. Alright, before I continue, I'll give my colleagues that just came in the opportunity to introduce themselves. Starting from the distinguished senator, please.
Distinguished Chairman and my distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Kingibe. I'm the senator representing the Federal Capital Territory and a member of this committee.
Johnson. I represent Akwa South, and I'm here. Respect from the chairman, I can have your name. Yes. I think it is I believe it is important that the police understand one, and in fact, every stratum of our security architecture understand that it is important that we work together as institutions. The police is an institution, and the parliament too is an institution. We work together to provide pillars for society. And how do these pillars rest when we don't work together, when we should? It is not helpful to be invasive when matters like this come up. As the chairman has observed, this is the third time. And some of the petitioners come from well outside Abuja in this hard time. Some travel by night, but some fly down only to go and be confronted with a scenario in which one party is either lethargic or clearly uncooperative. Not only does that throw questions on collaboration, which we should as institutions, it also undermines the integrity of the institution. In fact, if there is one institution that should properly respond to our inquiry, it is the police force. It is the police. Because you are the most discussed. And a number of the people that come before us concern you. But then we are necessarily partners in creating and sustaining the state, in creating the apparatus of governance. Because the police represents the very vortex of governance. And if the police is seen as invasive or uncooperative, then there is a serious danger to society. And you see, justice is a two-way traffic. As you are here, you can be here the next day. This has to be known clearly. What brings up a petitioner here can also throw you up. And that I think I must sound this out to all of us here. Because you see, justice is like health. No one prays to see a doctor. But it is not fair for society to assault a doctor or a health officer, because you within the spectrum of human endeavor, you may well be in his embrace the next day. So everybody is a potential petitioner. Everybody is a potential patient. I'm being understood. Everybody is a potential, especially those of you who are in public service. You know, nobody is naturally immune from inquiry. So it becomes important for us to see ourselves as co-travelers, as partners, because you could be next. You can be the one crying out for justice. You could be victimized. Your promotion can be messed up. Justice, you can have your fortune. You can be unfairly treated, let me put it in better terms. You can find in the course of your career, you can find yourself unfairly treated. And who do you run to? Is that the courts or the parliament? So it's important that we understand this fact and work together, cooperate as much as possible. We are very busy. Most of us here are chairmen of other committees, but we find time to be here so that we can save justice to Nigerians. And as I said, I must emphasize, any of you, any of us can be at the other end tomorrow. Thank you.
Any comment from? Any comment? All right. I hope we are well guided by what my colleague just said. Sir, because we want to get to the root of this problem, is the reason why I will adjourn it again. This time around, we will send a letter to the IG himself to call his attention to this. But the officers here says they were not directed on this particular matter, but they were directed on another matter that brought them here. And that is why it's difficult for me to be very heavy or strong in chastising them. So you allow us to adjourn this case one more time. And we're hoping that the police will show up at the time that this case will come up again. We will send a letter, a strong letter to the IG for him to understand that we are not said it's not pleased. It's not me, it's the Senate. It's not pleased with this response from them. Okay? So I will adjourn this case for a next hearing date that will be communicated to both you and the police. And please come that day, and I promise you, we will do something on that day, whether the police is here or not. And that will be the order of this committee. Call the next one that the police are here for.
The next one is between DCP Judge Yono, retired as the Nigerian police. Please is schedule of the matter.
That's not your case anymore. The petitioner is there. Yes. Okay.
Judge, this is Yono. Police.
Are they here for this case?
They're not here.
Are they here for this case?
They come for only one. I'm not here.
What the kids are here for?
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, put them on note.
Distinguished Chairman, distinguished Senators, Federal Republic of Nigeria, I, DCP Judge Ejikemonu, retired, do solemnly affirm that evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
again is not here in this matter, and this is the third time again that this case is being mentioned. You heard the officer says they will take the information, particulars of this case, to find out what happened. So we're going to rely on that. And please indulge us to, where, are you based in Abuja?
I am not. I'm not. I flew from Port Harcourt. And on this matter, the third Senate, the chairman, you are aware, I've been 3 times. And the first one, were asked to come back in a week's time. I had to stay here in hotel. Came back on the following Thursday. I met here under lock. I flew back, got another invitation, and the AIG police accounts and budget wasn't here. But the Senate committee did not sit. I got this other one. If I were here in Abuja, I would mind. But we all know what it means to fly in and out, stay in hotel here in Abuja. For a retiree, I'm not finding it fun. Still be challenging.
Thank you. I understand your flight completely. But see, we're also trying to seek justice to see how we can get to the bottom of this. So please, you will indulge us. Like you heard the officers say, they will find out the position of the notice to the police, whether or not it got to the right places. But I'll assure you that in the next hearing, which will be the 4th hearing, I hope the police will be here, but I also hope that you will be here. We'll welcome to some resolution on that day. So please indulge us to adjourn this case one more time. So I've afford the police the opportunity to be here. But if you don't show up again, it means that whatever it is that you said, you are admitting it. And we'll take a decision based on that. And so I will adjourn this case to the next hearing date, which the clerk of the committee will communicate to both parties. And again, like I said, I will hope that both parties will be here for the final hearing that day, because we will come to some resolution either way. And so this case stands adjourned.
The next case is Wisdom ELUM on behalf of Mrs. ONYEBUCHI of the US and AYOM Welfare Association versus Nigerian Police Force. This is the second scheduling of the matter. The petitioner. First,
Are you on any case now?
the MD, CMD, National
CMD?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Now, what about you, sir?
These are the physicians that manage the case.
Oh, okay. Very good. Could you arrange seats with the little Go ahead.
greater respect to the distinguished noble committee, I, Wisdom ELUM Esquire, do solemnly swear, affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Good afternoon, distinguished senators. I, Prince Amechinweke, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I, ONYEBUCHI, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you so very much. Madam, can you please introduce yourself? Introduce yourself.
My name is ONYEBUCHI OGOCHUKWU. You let me, Mr. ONYEBUCHI.
Right.
Wife.
Okay. Thank you. Next, sir, who are you?
Mrs. ONYEBUCHI OGOCHUKWU Grace and the AYOM and OKPALA Welfare Association, which is the association that the late ONYEBUCHI was a member.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Next, please.
Good afternoon, distinguished senators. I am Prince Amechinweke. I'm a co-counsel in the matter and also an eyewitness in the event of the.
Okay, thank you very much. And the officers on oath?
I, DCP Hawa Ibrahim, twice institutional police secretary, do solemnly affirm that evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Madam, please turn off your mic.
Good afternoon, distinguished chairman, honorable members of this distinguished committee. I am CSP Umar Bashir Mesule. I do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Please turn off your mic.
Good afternoon, members of this distinguished committee. I am Adam Musa, Superintendent of Police and the officer in charge, legal section of the FCT Police Command Abuja. I, Adam Musa, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me.
Thank you. So everybody that needs to give evidence in this matter have won. Sir, have you been on oath? Okay. Are your doctors going to give evidence here? Okay, all of them, let them be on oath.
I, Professor Muhammad Raji Mahmoud, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I, Professor Bayo Olokun, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I, Dr. Henry Ogunono, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
That's it? Yes. All right, thank you all very much. I think on the 29th of October, this case came up for the second time of the day. And then I think all parties were also present, but we needed the CM to come with the autopsy report. With the autopsy report of late Mr. Nene. And I believe that is what you hear. So the question is, do you have the autopsy report?
Yes, sir, we do.
You have it?
Okay. We have the pathologist that has seen him, but before then, we have the surgeon that had also reviewed him while he was alive, before he passed on. So both have their documentations here.
Okay, who will speak to that document?
Okay, maybe the surgeon that first saw him first go through his.
So who will speak to that autopsy?
The autopsy and the pathologist.
Okay, give him the document. Were you on oath?
Yes.
Okay. The autopsy report. The autopsy report. Does the police have a copy of it?
It is their report, sir.
It is their report. It is their autopsy report.
What we did was a coroner autopsy, distinguished chairman, and the report goes to them.
Okay. So they have the report. Okay, can you speak to that report? What did it say? Was cause?
The cause of death was a head injury that caused a skull fracture due to a penetrating right facial injury from a metallic object, cylindrical metallic object.
And you said that report was sent to the police?
It is their report, sir.
Okay. Turn off your mic. Officer, please listen carefully. I really don't want us to waste so much time on this matter because we discussed it exhaustively the first time. The reason why we adjourned was for us to be sure of the proximate cause of that death, which is the autopsy report you just read. So what I want to hear from you is that the report that you have. Speak up, please.
Mr. Chairman, that's the report we have.
Is there anything else you want to say about that report? Is there any part of it that you don't agree with?
Mr. Chairman, I wouldn't say I have anything to say because I'm not an expert in this field, sir.
You're not an expert in this field? Are you aware that an autopsy report was sent to the police?
I'm very much aware, Mr. Chairman. I will have the autopsy report, sir.
Councillor, yes, so let me talk to you directly. Do you have objection to the autopsy report?
No, because we're also part of the investigation that gave birth to the autopsy report.
Okay. So we're in agreement that the proximate cause of the death was the injury to the head caused by the police.
Yes, as indicated by the autopsy report, yes.
Caused by the police?
Caused by the
police.
Police officer?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So we're 90% done with this case, right? So the issue now is the issue of compensation. What has the police done to compensate this family?
Well, distinguished Mr. Chairman, the facts available to me on the issue of compensation or trying to reach out to the family.
Please, we need a copy of that doctor. Doctor, don't take it away. I need a copy of that doctor. Okay. Well, that's our copy. Don't get it. Doctor's report. Yeah, I'm listening.
Yes.
One, get that.
On the issue of trying to compensate or get to the family, during the course of an investigation at the early stage when this issue started, the police force, then especially the FCT Police Command, spearheaded by the now AIG, then CP Commissioner of Police Ben Igwe, tried to reach out to the family and make some overtures. But at that stage, probably maybe because of the grief at that moment, the grief I had was that it was rebuffed. And then we are still making an attempt to see how we can get in touch with them, because administratively, we're also still waiting for the convening of the Force Disciplinary Committee, which is the highest sanctioned body of the force, to decide on what appropriate punishment that should be meted out to the officer who is involved in this unfortunate incident. In consulting,
the officer here?
Yes, he is.
Where is he?
We came with him. Buma. And the other officers that were also asked to come along with them. So we are still at the background. Yeah, that issue is still being looked at, and at the appropriate time we'll try and see how we can reach out to them, sir.
Is this officer still in service?
At the moment, yes, because he is a senior police officer. Now there is a procedure, unlike the rank and file, that will be tried at the living room and subsequently dismissed within the shortest possible time. He is an officer, he has been issued a query, he has answered that query. Same has been sent to the Force Secretary, who will compile, and when they call for the Force Disciplinary Committee that sits, I think, quarterly in a year, he will go there, the matter will be treated there, and the appropriate punishment will be awarded.
So you are telling this committee that as we speak, this officer is still in uniform?
No, he has been in detention. He's coming from the cell.
Oh, coming from the cell?
Yes, he's coming from the cell. From the 25th or 24th of May till date, he has been in custody.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right. Now I'm relieved.
Yes, he's coming from the cell. He has been in custody.
All right. You said at the initial stage there was an overtures made to the family.
Yes, from
Do you know the nature of that overtures?
No, not in detail. But I was aware that the authority that tried to reach out, and probably it was removed. But that did not put an end to it. Yes,
okay.
Thank you.
Council, as you've heard, there's no dispute here as to the cause of death. That's already resolved. So the issue now is compensation, in my opinion, and then the officer who perpetrated this act. I just asked the council, you probably will not know, but all he says is that there was an overtures made to your client at the initial stage of this unfortunate event, and that it was revoked. Do you know the nature of that overtures?
Yes, I'm aware.
Can you please tell the committee?
Yes. The first offer is 3 million. Second offer is 6 million. I think the last offer should be 8 million. That is to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, madam, is there anything, is that anything different from the overtures made to you?
Not really.
So that's what it was. How many children do you have?
3.
How old are they?
My first son is 15. My first daughter is 10. Then my last daughter is 8.
How long were you married to your husband?
Since 2015.
2015 here, and you have a child who is 15 years old.
Sir?
2015 here, and you have a child who is 15 years old.
Yeah, he's an dependent son.
Okay. All right. Officer, I know you might not be in a position to negotiate this matter. But does this make any sense to you?
Well, distinguished chairman, I most sincerely say, with a sense of seriousness, that I sympathize with my sister on the other side. But on this issue, my personal opinion on this matter, I don't think it matters for now. Because whatever I say now will be my personal opinion, which will have no effect whatsoever on this issue. But what I can assure you is that the force in general, especially the FCT Police Command, is not happy with what has transpired, and it is not the intention of the command to leave the family there. That is the much I can say on this issue.
Police, do you have a copy of the autopsy there?
Yes, sir, we've got the copy of the autopsy.
Do you have that with you?
What? Yes.
Copy of the autopsy. Okay, we need a copy of that autopsy. Can you provide us a copy of that autopsy?
Yes, we will do, sir.
Yes. Clerk, please. So, the last child here is 8 years old. Council, I want to hear the thinking of the Senate committee. The last child is 8 years old. Yes. So if you were to calculate how much this child will spend through primary, secondary, and university level, what do you think 8 million will be enough? No. And then the second child is 10 years old. He hasn't gone to university, hasn't actually finished high school. Even if 15 years old, it's not university. And so you are offering 8 million. Counsel, for the petitioner, sir, what did you ask for on behalf of your client?
Yes, on behalf of my client, I told them that the incident is a very worrisome one, that they should arrange for them 1 billion naira, considering that the person in question is a resourceful person in society, and he has 2 each parents. The widow is there and the children. I told them that if not for any other thing, at least to place them on check in suspect action, because the way it happened and the way it's going, nobody is safe on police brutality.
So you asked for 1 billion?
Yes.
Okay. Officer, this officer that did the shooting, apart from this incident, has there been any other incident against him? Well, I'm going to ask for that record. So tell me the truth now. Has there been any? You have or you have not been? Have you been issued query before? No query in your file?
No.
This is the first one. Since you joined the police force?
Yes. You've been locked up. 8 me. Stand up. Let's stand. Do you drink? Do you drink?
No, sir. You don't drink
In
alcohol?
all your life, in all your life. You smoke?
No, sir.
In all your life? Do you drug?
No, sir.
Well, the chairman and the widow and the police force. You know, I said earlier, and I feel that what I said should strike all of us, that we should always put ourselves at the other side, at the other bed. We look up to the police to protect us and work very hard to create a society where everybody is safe, and that includes the police force. But here we are with a scenario in which one has been rendered a widow with 3 children. The husband must have had big dreams, which to send his children to the best schools. And given Africa, where we are, we all have our extended family. Beyond the 3 children, the other dependents on him, the in-laws, his brothers, the aged parents. If I may ask, do you ever have any aged parents? Mother, dad, uncle? A lot of people that look up to him, only for him to be cut down in his prime. Just as the chairman has said, let us put ourselves in her shoes. As we are now, what can 8 million naira do in terms of our education? Everyone wants to send his or her children to the best school. What can 8 M do in terms of training, in terms of even taking care of a family, as it were? Maybe to also help to grow a spotlight on the discipline within our security forces. The police. The police, you are our friend. You are meant to be our best friend. There's need for caution. There's real need for training, for discipline, for restraint, no matter the level of provocation. Now see, I'm sure when this happened, your eyes just clear. Your eyes clear why? You know, you render someone a widow, not through sickness, not through cancer, through brutality, mindless, uncalled for brutality. And as I said earlier, it could also have been you. It could have been your sister. You know, life is a two-way thing. It could have been the victim was also killed in such a manner. How would you feel? So we must be our brothers' keepers. It's very key. It's very critical. And for those of us, those of you who are in uniform should make you to be calmer and reflective, and not be turbocharged to cause trouble. Else, for uniform, I grew up in the barracks too. My second brother wore his uniform. But each time he wore his uniform, he was always very calm, and I was on this when he was very calm. But outside the uniform, he was a tiger. And was a very disciplined person. So my advice is I've seen a broad outline of you in this hall. The uniform should be a reminder to be calmer, more reflective, and know that you must protect Nigerians. You have to protect us. Bloody civilians that we are. And of course, even your colleagues too, there are times you even attack one another. You draw guns, knives. Wow. Members of your sector are meant to be the most disciplined, the most restrained, the most reflective, as it were. So it's a very sad metaphor about how we run ourselves, how we drive our institutions, where people are rendered fatherless, motherless, widows, and so on. And well, just as the chairman said, the quantum of what it should be paid may well be beyond your range or your compass, but the justice must be seen to be done. And for the ASP, well, subject to what the committee may come up with, because we do not preempt what the committee is tended to adopt as a body. They will look at it and come up with such conclusions that will help drive justice.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, sir, I want to at this juncture make some salient points. In the presentation of the Commissioner of Police FCT before the committee, it was emphasized therein that the officer involved was unprofessional, far beyond his schedule of duty and on a frolic of his own. Then secondly, I want to also reiterate that the overtures made to attend the disease, the family of the disease, was in the personal capacity of the former CPFCT. No, he was not acting on behalf, he was not in the capacity of the Nigerian, it was in his personal capacity at that time trying to reach out to them. So I want to place on record, we are not here and we are not in the position to discuss the issue of compensation on behalf of the family of the disease. And we sincerely sympathize with them, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. I mean, we sat on this matter before. It was not in dispute that he was on uniform, he was on duty.
He drove, who was the owner of the vehicle that he drove in? He drove in a vehicle from what I'm saying here. Who owned the vehicle?
He was councillor was just trying to be councillor. We had that. But this is what I think we're going to do. Who is in the position, which of the department in the police force that can come to a resolution as to the compensation?
Nigerian police, but it all depends, Mr. Chairman.
No, this matter. I mean, we are seized with the information here. So if this matter is going to be settled, which department in the police force has the authority to say, okay, Nigerian police will pay 50 million, to 300 million, to pay one, whatever?
Distinguished Chairman, sir, I think it is only Inspector General of Police that will have the final say on the issue, whether as to the right compensation to the disease family or not. Don't have that capacity, not at all, sir.
Because if we make any pronouncement here, we will enforce it. If we make any pronouncement here, we will enforce it. If your budget is coming to us, I don't know if you know. Yeah, your budget is coming to us.
We are very well aware of that, sir.
So I'm trying to be lenient to see if there's that department, I can speak to that department, and let's sit down and agree on something. Or are you leaving that to us to make the decision?
Well, it's the IGP that has the finances, sir.
Well,
it's the Inspector General of Police.
Who can now reach the Inspector General of Police? I'm not going there.
Well, the committee can reach out to him, sir.
We don't have time. We don't have time. So you see, I want to give a leeway here. We either meet again within the next 4 or 5 days, weeks, both parties, us sitting here, only that case, and we'll not agree on adequate compensation for them, or we will decide what we believe is adequate to compensate them. So I don't want to, I want the police to be involved in it. But if they are not interested in getting involved in it, then we will make a decision from here, and then we will enforce it. Your budget is coming to us.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
it's not that we are not interested, but like you said, you wrote this letter to the Inspector General of Police, which he directed us.
Don't do letters anymore. If somebody needs to go there.
Sir, I beg your pardon. If a letter will be written to him in this last week.
Yeah, but that letter
Because
will
we
not.
cannot take any decision.
No, I'm not saying she take the decision. Can someone go there? Can someone go there and tell the Inspector General of Police or the AIG in charge to say that we must meet again in 3 days' time on the compensation on this matter? Otherwise, we will decide what we believe is adequate to compensate them.
Sir, I still beg, Mr. Chairman, if you can write a letter to the Inspector.
That letter has no legs. That's the problem. It will walk very slowly, and then time is of the essence.
Mr. Chairman, sir, you know this is a regimentary organization. We cannot take a decision. I'm a Deputy Commissioner of Police. We have, the Commissioner of Police cannot even take a decision on this. So you wrote this letter to the Inspector General of Police. He directed that we should come for this hearing, instructing the Inspector General of Police to come for this hearing. So if there is a decision to be taken finally, sir, I plead, if you can still contact the Inspector General of Police on this matter, he will now direct. Please.
All right. Councilor, you are ready to tell us? You are ready to tell us, Councilor?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I hope you understand what we're trying to do.
Very well, sir.
We're trying to make both parties come together and then have an adequate speak honestly to one another, and then make a proposal that we believe will be adequate. And we will be part of that conversation. We'll sit down there, this party, that party, and the Senate. We'll sit down there and hear it, and then offer whatever advice we have to offer at that point. But I also want it to be done expeditiously, because you waited enough. You have waited enough. And we will write this letter, and the letter will be very explicit that we need to sit down and discuss this compensation, or we will make that decision. So it is as simple as that. So, as some of you, okay, as far as this case is concerned, ladies and gentlemen, the issue of culpability as to who killed the deceased and many is no longer in dispute. The Nigerian police force have owned up that its officers was culpable or was responsible for that death. So the issue before us here now is the issue of compensation, adequate compensation. And that's what we're discussing. And we are hoping that in the shortest time, that this also will be resolved. And so we'll write a letter to the IG to indicate these facts I just stated, and to also let the IG know that we need to sit down in the shortest possible time to discuss the issue of compensation. Otherwise, the Senate will decide what we believe is adequate enough to compensate the victim. And this will be the decision of this committee. We are all ready. number 7.
The next case is between Sergeant AUTA, BITRUS, and 5 others of Nigerian. This is the first case. BITRUS, is he here? BITRUS AUTA. BITRUS. He's not here. He's not here. He's not present.
With humility to this committee, I, Lieutenant Colonel C.W. Okonkwo, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
All right, thank you very much. Are you all going to be witnesses to give evidence in this matter? Okay, so both of you will not say anything, right?
It's okay.
No, it's not. It's apparently if you go say anything, it's going to be a vote. That's what I'm asking.
I'm already on code. Let me be a code.
Okay, so go ahead.
Distinguished Chairman, utmost distinguished members, with utmost respect to this committee, I, Major Mohammed Bello Abubakar, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Well, the petitioner is not here, unfortunately, but he's talking about being dismissed because they refused or they were able to prevent a suicide bomber or something. Right? That's the gist of it. It says, I just want to be on record that at least you appeared and the petitioner is going to appear, but for the place of this report here, I'm not going to speak for him. I wish he was able to speak for himself as to why we are here. But for what I can read so far, it says that they were court-martialed because they were unable to stop a suicide bomber. And that at the time it happened, they were on some kind of recess or break eating their breakfast, or the other person that in that hand. And so the question for him is, if he's on break to eat his breakfast and something happened, why would he be held responsible for that? That's the gist that I have. Is there anything you want to tell the committee?
Distinguished Chairman, the
The matter is actually 6 former personnel of the Nigerian Army.
6 of them?
6 of them. It's Sergeant AUTA, BITRUS, and 5 others.
Yes.
So they were on guard duty jointly at the Kaduna 1 Division, where in 2012 a suicide bomber successfully detonated a bomb inside the division complex, that is inside the compound. They were on detail on guard duty at that particular time. But the distinguished chairman, the matter is that after the court martial, they went to the Court of Appeal.
Of the Army?
No. The Army convicted them in the court martial, sentenced them to 2 years imprisonment. It was reduced to 18 months. 18 months imprisonment. That was in still around that 2012. And after the conviction and the confirmation of the sentence, they went on appeal to the Court of Appeal. They were successful at the Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal ordered their reinstatement into service. But, however, the Army appealed the matter to the Supreme Court. That was sometime in 2017, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. We are, in our response, we enclosed a notice of appeal in one of the, pertaining to one of the petitions.
So hold on. What you are saying is that this case is before the Supreme Court?
No.
Yes.
And where's the proof of that?
We attached proof in one of the cases. The 6 persons involved are Sergeant AUTA, Staff Sergeant AUTA, BITRUS, Corporal Friday, Osafele.
Okay, Supreme Court is here. All right, so there's no judgment yet of the Supreme Court?
No.
All right, we can't hear this case. We can't hear it. Turn off your mic. All right, gentlemen.
Well, our hands are tied. We are manacles because we have no jurisdiction. Once a matter is before the court, we are manacles. And manacles behind our backs. The people are just out of the fog. If they were convicted for negligence or for conspiracy.
No, it's negligence.
The Army is
All right, based on the information, oral and written, that this matter is before the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this case, therefore, cannot be heard by this committee. And as a result, this case will be dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. And that will be the decision of this committee. Thank you.
Sir, we still have one outstanding case, sir.
That one, that case?
Yes, sir.
Which one is that? Call it.
Thank you, sir.
The next case is ex-private Joseph Monstar, AKOKO versus Nigerian. See the first hearing.
Okay. Is private man here? Is the petitioner here? No. Petitioner is not here? All right, this case is going to be adjourned. All right, I will adjourn this case. This is the very next one, unless, is it in court? Okay, so we'll adjourn this case to afford the petitioner. We don't know why he's not here. I want to hope that it is not abandonment of his case. Something perhaps would have prevented him from being here. So we'll give him another opportunity to come. And we'll let you know, we'll adjourn that case for that reason, and so we'll let you know when the next hearing date will be. And please, I will join you to please attend when you get the notice. So this case is adjourned. We are not grateful, sir. Thank you. Next.
The next case is the case between OSEMEDE, SPR, on behalf of Dr. GABRIEL, THODARA, Family Best Properties Limited. This is second guy. OSEMEDE, Family Best.
I, O.E. OSEMEDE, solemnly affirm that the evidence of the brief before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. I, George, upon my evidence, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
All right. Councillor, you represent who?
Distinguished Chairman, and I represent the MD of the respondent.
Councillor, please tell us why you're here. No, please sit down. Sit down.
Respectfully, Mr. Chairman and members of this distinguished committee, O.E. OSEMEDE is my name, and I'm the counsel representing the petitioner, Dr. Gabriel, the THODARA. Our petition is dated the first day of April 2024, and it's
Sorry, the same chairman, if I may come in, to say that, if permitted, that I was briefed just late yesterday, and as I'm here, there is no document before me because the respondent said they had not disturbed any documents. But when we met a while ago, we discussed, and I told him that we should be given an opportunity to reconcile the parties because they come a long way, and that goes from transaction between private entities. So if I give you the opportunity, I'm sure we can settle them. Okay.
All right, please sit down. Councillor, what's the response? Please turn off your sign. What's the response to that?
Yes, well, he did mention to me that he would prefer a situation going over the matter to reconcile both parties, but I take serious observation when you mentioned that there is a transaction between private persons. Whether that is to the extent of challenging the jurisdiction of this committee, I don't know. If that is it, we are well guided by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is why we are here. And we believe strongly that this committee has the enormous power to determine this petition. But if they are coming by way of reconciliation, we will not close that window.
Thank you. Clerk, was the petitioner, was the respondent served?
Yes, sir.
Was there evidence of, did they sign for it?
I do bring the evidence.
I want to see the
Mr. Chairman, I can only see a copy of the notice here, but there's nothing to do that. The document, as a matter of fact, he was able to, if he had a extra copy, he would have given it to me. I went to receive a copy from him, but he didn't have any extra copy. But
he doesn't have a copy of the petition?
So that was what he told me yesterday.
Council, do you have
But I can always say,
do you have a copy of the petition?
No immediate copy right now, but we can.
Can you please avail him a copy of the petition?
I can avail him a copy
Yes.
if he wants to go ahead with the petition.
No, even if you don't want to go ahead, I want to have it. Avail him a copy of the petition.
I
will adjourn because you are already talking. But give me a copy. I want to, in my presence, give me a copy of the petition.
thank you.
All right, so I'm glad that he has an official appeal for him. So when we serve it on you, we'll serve it on him. Right? That's the law. Very good. But let me make this point. I'm not going to stand in the way of reconciliation if it's done in good faith. I will not stand in the way of that. But I want to convey to your client that the land, the land of FCT belongs to the federal government. I want you to convey that to him. Perhaps he doesn't know. The fact that he has been given a license to deal on land doesn't make it his own. And so if there's any infraction in that dealing, right, it becomes a matter of law. The matter is before the Senate. And not just that we legislate for the whole country, but we are the State Assembly of FCT. We, the Senate, the National Assembly, we are the State Assembly of FCT. Therefore, the land of FCT is not a private land. So I don't want to go beyond here. I want you to, if you want to settle this matter, settle it. But if people that cannot be honest are dealing on land of FCT, then we may have to stop them from dealing on it completely. If there's any license, we may have to have that license withdrawn completely. I want to convey this to your client. It's a very serious matter. This is not the first one of land speculators in FCT, and as it is becoming very prevalent, then we may have to come hard, very hard, on those who are these speculators. But we are talking about Nigerians trying to own a piece of land in FCT, and we hope that it is done in good faith. So we adjourn this case to enable you, both parties, to sit down and discuss it. But if by the next appearance and you are not able to agree, then we will now come in and do what we have to do. I hope I'm clear.
Very good, Mr. Chairman.
And that will be the decision of this committee. Thank you. Last case.
Last case. It's a case between John.
Are you friends?
We are already doing our doctor. We are not family together.
John, the year before her, on behalf of Mrs. Julius Stephen Soye and 7 others, this was Chairman, Federal Civil Service Commission, Head of Civil Service for the Federation, Federal Ministry of Environment and Federal Ministry of Works. This is the second hearing.
Is the head of civil service here? I know they reached my office. I know you were trying to reach my office. I'm trying to remember what the answer was.
They came to collect.
Huh?
They came to collect copy of the petition.
Okay.
Put them on.
Put them on.
Distinguished Chairman and distinguished Senator present. My name is John Yafokai. I'm the counsel presenting Mrs. Julius Fifen and 7 others. I, John Yafokai, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Is Mrs. Esolene here?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir. I, Mrs. Julius Fifen, Esolene, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before the distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
That the evidence I shall keep in this honorable court in this distinguished committee shall be the truth and the whole truth. So
I, Opera Anthony, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before the distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I, Patrick, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguishing committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I, BITRUS, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. So these are the 7 others, right?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All protocols duly observed. I, Doma, do solemnly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this distinguished committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Okay. Counsel, are you a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
No. The other guy.
no, I'm the volunteer. I've been working with him. I've been following up this case from the House of Rep to the city, so I know a lot of details about the case.
All right. So, Mr. Sutherland, tell us, or through your counsel, can you tell us why you're here?
Okay, sir. Distinguished Chairman, we are here in respect of the 8 petitioners that were employed by the Federal Civil Service Commission sometime in 2008. Upon 2018, sorry. And upon their employment, they were given temporary employment, and upon that they were confirmed. But before then, they were sent to their various ministries, and upon the receipt of their letters, the ministries wrote back to the Federal Civil Service Commission to authenticate if the list sent came from them. There was a letter authenticating that from the Federal Civil Service Commission to say yes, that these persons were sent to you, employed by us and sent to you.
Thereafter, they sat for promotion exams, and they passed. The results were released. While their employment was ongoing, there was a circular from the Federal Civil Service Commission listing the petitioners that the letters of employment were fake. These were the same employment that their various ministries wrote to them to authenticate if it actually came from them. They said the various ministries should relieve them of their employment, that the employments were fake. Mr. Chairman, sir, at the last sitting, today is the third sitting, at the last sitting, we alleged that while these same persons their appointment were terminated, that some of them were still being promoted. And the presiding chairman said we should write to their ministries to authenticate if actually the advancement and promotion, if they actually emanated from them. Upon leaving this place, we did cause letters to be written to the Federal Civil Service Commission and also head of service of the Federation in respect of the gazettes that were issued. I mean, that are being, hold on. In respect of the gazettes that are being brandished by one of the petitioners. Mr. Chairman, sir, I can say authoritatively that the Federal Civil Service Commission did not respond. We did another letter of reminder. Still, they did not respond. But the Federal Ministry of Environment responded via a letter dated 3rd of September 2024 to authenticate that the following person, Mr. Dangla, Elisha BITRUS, and Mr. Tahiru Enagi, those letters of advancement were authentic. The head of service of the Federation also replied and attached a list of the 8 petitioners that indeed they sat for these promotion exams and they passed. And the office of the head of service of the Federation also wrote in respect of the gazette that the Federal Civil Service Commission said was fake. The head of service of the Federation also authenticated it via a letter dated 3rd of October 2024. That the gazette actually emanated from them. That her employment was indeed gazetted and is being found to be authentic and correct. And it corresponds with the record that is domiciled with the head of service of the Federation. Mr. Chairman, sir, we also mentioned before the presiding chairman that day that there was a report, but there was a report from the 9th Assembly, House of Representatives, which handled the matter up to and concluded on it. And the report was late, but the committee, the House wounded up before the decision was taken. And they said they will need us to also apply to get a copy of that report. Mr. Chairman, sir, we have that report. We've gone ahead to obtain it, duly signed by the chairman.
We are called for verification. All officers are employed between 2013 to 2020. And we all assemble at the precise venue for the verification. And officers were sent from the commission for us to verify. The numbers of crowds on the ground was about 3 to 4 ministries were there to be verified. We are not verified on that particular day. We are asked to write our names. The following day, the officers never showed up. To date, they never showed up. The event that followed was a publication of names alleging that after the verification exercise, they discovered that 100 persons were having fake appointments later. So, we are not verified.
So how then did they authenticate to you? How then were you not posted to ministries?
We are posted.
Oh, you already working?
Yes, and there was a circular for that. Yes, sir. Yes. There was a memo that came out.
How were you employed?
I was employed. I collected form from the commission, from my commissioner's office. I collected from my field.
So this is not about fake school certificates?
No, sir.
Okay, it's just about that you were not properly...
That the letter of employment was fake.
How long did you work before this verification? I read that some of people serve for promotion exams.
Yes, sir.
So how long did you work before that promotion exam?
About
3 years.
3 years. 3 years.
So you worked for 3 years before the last came
Yes.
to 6 years?
You were being paid?
Yes.
Are you on IC?
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. I know the head of service either sent message to say she won't be able to appear here today because she's still out of the country, or some other engagement. I'm not too sure now, but I can recall that she made some attempt to reach me in the office. For me, it's a very straightforward thing, unless they have something something that we don't know now. But if it's based on what we just heard and this is what it is, then I think it's not something we should crap our heads about as to who is right or who is wrong. So the adjournment is not just a simple adjournment. The adjournment is to allow me to interface with the head of service. I want to personally interface with the head of service. Because they have a petition definitely to ask what is going on. We should resolve this issue. Or because the House of Rep has worked on this matter before. And their resolution was what?
That it should be reinstated.
That it should be reinstated.
You have already that resolution?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's before the committee.
What do you mean by reinstated? Have they sacked them?
Yes.
They asked the various ministries to relieve them of their employment.
From the head of service?
No,
The commission.
Have they, you know that commission, one commission serves 3 states or 2 states. Is it that commission?
No, the commission is just one. They have different commissioners representing different states.
Yeah, it's not one state. That's what I'm saying now. You will see one commissioner.
So it's the one commission that issued letters to all the states of the federation. So, and it's being supervised by the commissioner representing your state. So if you want to get employment, you go to your commissioner's office to obtain form. Then after you obtain form, then you will be called to come and receive your letter. Then when you now receive your letter, you now move straight to the MDAs that are being posted to. Then once you get there, then they will now write back to the commission. That is authentication list we are talking about, and they will now write to ask whether do they know anything of this kind of letter. Then in this case, the commission responded back to the Federal Ministry of Environment, affirming that the petitioners, their letters were genuine and that they should be documented. And now, at the end of the day, they were posted. And the petitioners underwent induction training from on the 3rd to on the 7th of February 2020 for 5 days. But an induction training was...
You understand that? Verification, what does it entail?
Okay,
No. Not you.
Okay.
But what does it entail?
Okay, it's for them to check our documents.
Yes, school certificate and everything.
Yes, yes.
That's it.
Yes.
And you don't have problem with that?
No,
sir.
Actually, sir,
That's
sorry,
fine.
sir. They did not do anything. That day for verification, only 2 or 3 officers from the office came. That day, we were not verified. They just asked us to write our names only. The next day, they came with list.
But the fact is, we don't have problems with our credentials.
I think, I don't want to say it's a misunderstanding or, but I'm going to interface with the head of service. I'll call the head of service on this and ask her to educate me more. Otherwise, I also let her know the resolution of the House of Rep.
Yes, sir.
And that this is what we're also thinking. Unless there's something else in shadows.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. As for the head of service, they've already responded, like you said, listed their names, the names of the 8 petitioners. That they have indeed, is before you, sir. That they have indeed, sat for this exam.
Okay, so this one is the Gazette.
But do you know whether the federal commissioners in the commission from your own area have changed? Or is it the same person that is still contractor, or they have changed?
No. They have changed, sir.
They have changed?
Yes.
And
They've changed
something must be
twice.
coming from there now.
They've changed
They have
twice.
changed. You know the term expires now. Then they will go, then another one will come. But if commission say you're okay, if the service say you start exams, then why should there be any problem at all?
Sir, the issue now is the commission in question does not want to even look at their document at all. We have written several letters for them to authenticate whether this thing emanated from them. They have not even written to the ministry to even ask whether do they know them. Now, they don't just want to attend to the petitioners because the head of service have responded with a letter both on Gazette and Compro. Then, the most funniest thing is the present deputy director, recruitment and appointment, was the one that approved staff changes that enables the petitioners to process their Gazette. And the present director of promotion was the one that approves the promotion and the advancement of these 2 petitioners. We have written to them. They don't want to listen at all, to even check whether they have the record.
I suspect that change of guard in the commissioners.
So, but change of guard does not invalidate whatever.
I didn't say it will invalidate. But what I'm saying is the reverse of what you are thinking. You shouldn't. I'm thinking they are not being funny just like that. Maybe they are not aligning since the commissioner that gave you something and all of that. They are new ones. All you don't see.
All right. Permit the committee who had it. I don't really see anything that is difficult to understand here. All right.
Yes.
For me, I probably not think that is some sort of misunderstanding somewhere, civil service, bureaucracy, whatever it is. But I will speak with the head of service and confront her with this, and to just please resolve it so you can go back to work.
Yes.
All right? They either resolve it that way or come back here and then make the pronouncement on it.
Yes, sir.
All right? But either way, I'm still going to call it back so I can put in record what was agreed on.
Yes.
All right? So this case is adjourned. We will hear from my clerk the shortest time. After we have spoken with the head of service. All right? So this brings us to the end of hearings of today. And so this committee is adjusting the time for the next Wednesday.